When it comes to dodging disastrous marriages, Christina of Denmark deserves a standing ovation. This fiery, independent princess didn't just sidestep one of history's most infamous husbands, she did it with sass and style. Born in 1521 to the illustrious Habsburg dynasty, Christina was the niece of Emperor Charles V and granddaughter of Philip the Handsome and Joanna the Mad Beautiful. Intelligent and politically savvy, Christina had European power player written all over her. But she wasn't just a pretty face in a portrait. Christina knew her worth, and she wasn't about to let anyone, even the infamous Henry VIII, call the shots in her life. Her life was dramatic from the get-go. By 13, she was already a widow, thanks to a rushed proxy marriage to Francesco II Sforza, Duke of Milan. This marriage wasn't your average medieval union. While most young brides were ceremonially wed with consummation delayed, Charles V, Christina's uncle, gave the green light for not just a proxy marriage, but an immediate consummation once Christina arrived in Milan. Was it urgency or the ticking clock on Francesco's health that prompted this bold move? Either way, Christina's aunt wasn't having it, claiming Christina was ill, translation, way too young for this nonsense. She delayed the young bride's departure and whisked her off to another part of the Netherlands. Smart move, because seriously, what 11-year-old is ready for all that drama? Fast forward to 1538. Enter Henry VIII, now shopping for wife number 4 after the first was annulled. The second was beheaded, and the third died in childbirth. Christina, a 16-year-old duchess, was on his shortlist of eligible queens. Christina had both beauty and connections, which made her an ideal candidate. Henry even sent his go-to painter Hans Holbein to capture her portrait, and no, it wasn't a Tinder profile pic, it was diplomacy. But Christina? She wasn't impressed. By now, Henry had earned himself quite the reputation across Europe. Christina's biting response became legendary. "If I had 2 heads, one should be at the King of England's disposal." Mic drop. Was Henry after her for love? Please. This was pure politics. Christina's family connections to the powerful Habsburgs could have bolstered England's position in Europe. But Christina's great-aunt, Catherine of Aragon, Henry's first wife, had been cast aside, and her relatives, including Christina's mother, wanted nothing to do with him. The talks fizzled, and Christina moved on, gracefully and with her head intact. Her love life remained just as dramatic. Though she fell for François de Guise, politics forced her to marry Francis, Duke of Bar. Another widowhood followed when Francis died in 1545. By then, Christina had had enough of marriage proposals. Royals and politicians lined up to woo her, but her answer was always the same: no, thank you. Christina spent her later years ruling Lorraine as regent, advocating for peace, and proving she was far more than a pawn in Europe's political chess game. She's remembered today not as a queen, but as the princess who chose independence over a disastrous crown.